do want to welcome you to TeaFairy and Friends Storytime Adventures, but today I'm an elf instead of a TeaFairy, and all of my friends are going to be dressed up as the elves and gnomes because it's Christmas! And today's story is Clutter Gnomes by Ashley Metcalfe and illustrated by Sinem Kiliç. I hope I pronounced that right. The Clutter Gnomes. Do you guys ever have clutter in your houses? I sure do. In a charming old house on the outskirts of town stand a girl and her mom, who is wearing a frown. "That's it," sighed Mom, raising her voice. "Pick up your toys. It's not a choice." You see the mess that she made all over her room? All the clutter? You guys do that? I just spent the whole day yesterday cleaning my room. "Relax, Mom," I said. "It's just a few things. Puzzles, books, and shiny toy rings. There might also be blocks, cars, and stuffed animals too. Crayons, construction paper, and look, my missing princess shoe. And dirty laundry hanging off the door. Now that I think of it, I can't see the floor. But why should I care if my things are put neatly away? If they're out in the open, then it's easy to play." "Why should you care?" whispered Mom in the ear. "The Clutter Gnomes are now invited, I fear." "Oh no, Clutter Gnomes?" I questioned. "What are those?" "They are small little people that sneak in right under your nose. Did you not see their door that appeared here last night? Look, come closer, step into the light." As I looked where she pointed, I finally could see a small little door with a golden CG. What do you think that is? Oh my. Clutter Gnomes come when you don't pick up after yourself. They clear away toys that should have been put on the shelf. Have you ever wondered where your missing things go? Well, there you have it. Now you know. Take, for example, the time that you turned 4. You loved all of your presents, but left them all on the floor. The Clutter Gnomes did not like that one little bit, so they stuffed it in a bag, all that they could fit. There's Lucy, and Tom, and Margot, and Lena. That's what the names of the trees are, you think? They took it away to their home through the door, where it is awaited to return when you could care for it more. Responsibility is the trait at the top of their list. Take care of your toys, and they will not be missed. So I see what's happening. If you look in this tree here, these are all of Margot's toys that the Clutter Gnomes collected and put in the tree for safekeeping. Oh my, everybody has their own tree. As Mom walked away, I started to clean up my mess. I put away all my toys. I hung up a dress. I wasn't quite convinced the Clutter Gnomes were real, so I set up a trap for them to steal. Ooh, a trap? Oh no. This trap took the form of a deserted princess shoe. You see the princess shoe? I wanted to see just what the gnomes would do. My trap would be simple yet highly effective. I would stay up all night and be a detective. While snuggled up cozy under my sheets, I would closely be listening for miniature feet. My eyes would be shut to the Clutter Gnomes so that they wouldn't know that I was spying. But once they entered my room, there would be no denying. I would pop up and shout, "Hey, Clutter Gnomes, how do you do? I knew you would come out for my princess shoe." The only problem with my magnificent plan was that I fell asleep to the sound of the fan. When I finally awoke, I looked all around, but my shoe was absolutely nowhere to be found. Now convinced that the Clutter Gnomes were keeping an eye on me, I decided to act with more responsibility. Look, she's putting away her toys, and she's doing laundry. That's awfully good of her. For the next whole week, I cleaned up after myself. I put things up and away onto their proper shelf. And do you know what happened next? I was mystified, bewildered, confounded, and perplexed. After helping my dad clean the kitchen one night, I walked into my room and shrieked with delight. On the edge of my bed sat my missing princess shoe, and a small little note that said, "Well done, you." What a nice note. And she got her shoe back, too. The end. And it says, "Dear children, the legend of the Clutter Gnomes. Have you ever wondered where your missing things go? Legend has it that little gnomes called Clutter Gnomes will remove any toys or items with which you have been irresponsible. After a series of irresponsible decisions, you may notice a small door appear somewhere in your house, usually in your bedroom. This door allows Clutter Gnomes to enter and gather any playthings that deserve to be treated better. The Clutter Gnomes that take your belongings to their home in the forest. In this forest, each child has their own unique tree that is hollowed out so that the Clutter Gnomes can store their belongings in an organized fashion. Once a child acts with more responsibility, the Clutter Gnomes will return the items to the child in question. So, children, take heed and treat your toys and belongings with responsibility. This means taking care of your things and putting them back in their proper place after use. While a Clutter Gnome's job is to clear things away, Clutter Gnomes have always been known to leave friendly notes and natural treasures like rocks, cool leaves, interesting shells, fascinating acorns, etc. to children who frequently act with respect and responsibility. Warmly, Ashley Metcalfe." And there's your little Clutter Gnome. That was fun. Thanks, kids. Let's see what happens next.
Hi friends, I'm Sheila and welcome to my hearth. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of Furoshiki. This is a Japanese wrapping technique and we're going to gift wrap some things for a couple friends for the holidays. So with me I have some castanets. These are for my boyfriend. He likes percussion. And so these are these cool little hand instruments. You just kind of click them like this. It's pretty neat. So we're going to wrap some of these. I have a very special mug handmade by my good friend's mother. And let's start. So first what you need is fabric. And that's it. You're just going to wrap with fabric. And what's really cool about it is that you can, buy some cheap fabric from the store. You can use something that you have in the closet that you're not using anymore. And it's a really nice eco-friendly way of giving a gift to somebody. They can reuse the fabric if they want to, they can gift it to somebody else, and that way you don't have to waste a lot of paper. So first we're gonna start with these guys. So what you wanna do is center it in the middle of your fabric, and then we're gonna do a fold over. So it covers the width of the box. I'm going to fold it over a couple times just to get a good, neat outline of what you're wrapping. Make sure these edges are good and smooth. And then we're going to take the other side and do the same. My fabric might be a little bit too big for what I'm wrapping, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So then using your two edges of fabric left over, you're gonna fold them over. Make sure all your folds are nice and neat. And then we're just gonna simply tie it into a knot. We're gonna double tie it. And this is your Furoshiki gift. You can even wrap the edges back inside if you want to. Just kind of tuck them in, make a little bow. And so that's kind of a nice festive holiday gift. For weirder shapes, it can get a little trickier. I'm going to use a smaller piece of fabric from my mug, place it in the center, and then we're going to fold everything up just to make sure we cover the object. And then you want to take one of these. Since it's a little more cylindrical, it's a kind of long, strange shape, we're gonna wrap this guy around at the top. And this way, we'll have a couple of pieces of fabric sticking out. We can make a nice nice shape with. So I'm going to tuck that into itself. Fold these over. And I'm going to tuck these back into that ring we just made. Kind of a neat little shape, makes a flower. And then to give it some extra decoration, we're going to use a little bit of ribbon. So just tie it around and make a little bow. So there's different types of fabric to use for furoshiki. Some are a little bit better for folding than others. So you might want to check online and see what's best. But I just like to use what I have around. And then this is my mug. Thank you for furoshiki wrapping with me. I'm excited to see you try it on your own. Let's see what our friends are up to.
Our ferret friends are going to open those presents.
This is going to be a video about how to make a gnome. I've got two types of gnomes here before me. These gnomes are made of felt. You can see their colorful clothing, their little noses, and their hairstyles. And this bigger gnome was very easy to make because he's made of wood, and all I had to do was color him. So behind the gnomes, you can see this large amount of colored felt. This felt is available at the fabric store. It comes in all these beautiful colors and is plenty for so many different types of projects. This particular felt is not really made of wool. This is actually recycled plastic bottles. That's one reason I like it, because it's a recycled material. I also gather up all my trimmings and put them in a Ziploc bag so that nothing goes to waste. This little stack is called a felt library, and it's a smaller amount of each piece of felt, each color, but it's a lot of different colors. And it actually is plenty of felt to do a small project. So I'm going to show you how to cut out the pieces for these gnomes. And then if you ever see a wooden gnome like this, he's so easy to color. See, he's just a thin piece of plywood. I colored his grass that he's standing on. He's wearing ice skates. And I just made him very rainbowy and fun. One thing I'm thinking about for the gnome for today is maybe giving it some pretty butterfly wings. So I have this silver flower that could be wings, or these paper cutout butterflies could be wings, or even this shiny wrapping paper tape, this wrapping ribbon could be wings for a small gnome. So after I decide which butterfly I'm going to choose, or whether I'm going to use this ribbon or this flower, that'll help me decide what color of felt to make my gnome out of. Right, so here's the little gnome, and you need to cut a little circle for her nose. So one thing that you need to do is use the corner or the edge of your felt. You don't want to put the nose in the middle of the felt and waste it by having to cut along the whole thing. No, just cut a tiny corner, and that's all you need for her nose. It's a tiny amount. The second piece is going to be her back, and it's about 5 inches long. So I'm going to use the dark green for her back. And as you can see, I'm just going to lay the corner like that. I'm going to actually give a little more because it curves a little bit. So I'm just going to cut a triangle. And this does not have to be precise at all. Right? That's going to be her back. See? And then for the base, there's just like a little kind of an oval piece. So I think I'll just cut that much. And then that'll be the base. And then I'll tidy that up, trim it around and make it oval. For her hat, I think I have to decide whether her hat will be the bright color. I think it'll be the the darker turquoise color. And so again, I'm just going to cut, a triangle the right size. And if it's a little too long, that's okay. Right? And then for her body, I need like a little square. So I'm just going to cut that far and over to make the... Now I've got all my pieces cut. And as you can see, the amount of felt that it takes to do the whole project is very little. Just a little corner, a triangle, a bigger triangle, and a tiny little circle for her nose is the whole amount. So when I go to sew it together, there's going to be the back of her, the hat, the body, so it's going to be like that, and her little nose sticks out from under her hat, like that, see? And then this part is the base she's going to stand on. So I'm going to stuff it with some cotton wads inside, and I want her to have some hair. So I'm going to have to find the right color of ribbon and some embroidery floss for her hair. And then I'm going to put these wings on the back. So we'll show you what she looks like when she's all sewn up at the end. So now I'm going to sew my gnome girl together. She has a long green triangle in the back. She has a turquoise triangle for a hat and a light blue sweater. And she has 2 loops of hair that are 3 colors of embroidery floss that I just braided together. And this is my kit of different colors of embroidery floss. So I'm using this blue embroidery floss to sew the edges in a blanket stitch. You could glue it using tacky glue, but the blanket stitch is very easy, so that's what I'm going to do. So you just pull it through and then you grab the loop with your needle, and what that does is it forms like a little visible line of embroidery. So when you pass it through the layers of the felt, you go up, and then when you get to the loop, you catch it like that, and that's called the blanket stitch. So I'll show you one more time. You go through both of these layers, And the other thing about it is it's not a very small stitch. It's actually kind of large. So you catch that open loop with your needle, and then you've got a blanket stitch, right? So you go through both layers of felt, like that, and you catch that loop and pull it on. And that's called the blanket stitch. So I'm going to go all the way to the end of the hat and all the way down, but I'll do the bottom differently. So we'll come back to that. Okay, so I have the gnome sewed together. As you can see, it's just two long triangle shapes sewn together up to the point and all the way down. I also sewed across her brim of the hat just because I wanted to. You don't have to. Now I have some old felt scraps. These are from other projects. You can also use a cotton ball, or you could even use like a Kleenex or facial tissue or something like that. Any kind of thing that you can stuff. I kind of like the thought of putting in these old scraps from other projects. I feel like that's good luck. So I'm putting all that in to give her a little bit of a roundedness. See, now she's a little stuffed. Like a doll, right? So then next, these are 3 pennies. That's to give her some weight so she'll stand up. I'm just putting them kind of in there. All right, and now as you can see, she needs to be sealed. So I have this piece. I'm gonna like round it out into a little oval, and then I'm just gonna sew it onto the bottom. So that's the next step. Here's the completed gnome. She has her blanket stitch all the way to the tip and all the way back down. Here's her bottom. It's just been stitched in. You just have to make that oval fit as you sew it into the bottom. Then I made some details. I got a little jingle bell for the tip of her hat, and I got 2 beads to make buttons on the front of her sweater. And on the back, I gave her some wings that are a flower, and I used another of the same bead just to sew it on, and I left the embroidery floss on it. So that is the gnome. She is a little fairy gnome with fairy wings and a nice little jingle bell on her hat in beautiful colors of green, turquoise, and light green, and like light turquoise. Happy gnome season. Little people in my garden, hiding near my shrubs and trees. Little people digging in my garden, laughing with the butterflies and bees. Little people doing secret business, hard at work when no one is around. Buried treasure all around my garden, dirty shovels and a chuckling sound. What do they get up to when no one is looking? Helping the plants grow, making good luck. Wriggling with the earthworms and shiny black beetles, shoveling and hoeing in the garden muck. Long red nightcaps when the night is over, festive mushrooms, moonlight melodies, rumpus with the raccoons, hanging with the possums, midnight madness underneath the oak trees, midnight madness underneath the old oak trees. Gnomes have come to live in my garden. I am sure that they are here to stay, smiling sweetly, standing still by daylight, but when no one sees is when they work and play. In the misty twilight at the end of day.
guys, TeaFairy here, and I am here with my friend Denise.
Hello!
We are at the Costume Box in Eureka, California. Denise, can you tell us a little bit about you?
Yes, we consider ourselves the North Coast Department for Santa for his helpers. We're elves here too. And part of my heritage is Finnish. I'm a small person. And we know that Santa lives in Rovaniemi, Finland. And he's called Joulupukki in Finnish. And so with Finnish DNA, being a small person, I am a bona fide elf, and I take my job with Santa very seriously.
And we have some fun things here in the store to show you.
Yeah, come on over. Let's show you some things.
Okay, let's do it.
Another thing that Joulupukki does in Finland is on Christmas Eve, he goes out and proclaims Christmas peace. To relax, enjoy your family, enjoy the fire, and enjoy camaraderie and company and the spirit of the season. So, welcome to our little Christmas closet here. As you can see, we have different styles of uniforms. And not all Santas come in the same size and shape. So we make sure, we help by making sure that every uniform fits. Another uniform not really worn here in Eureka, Humboldt County, is the St. Nicholas.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Yes, and there's a lot of stories about St. Nicholas and him building wooden toys to give to children. And he usually shows up in Europe, the Germanic countries and things like that. Now, in Holland, in the Netherlands, St. Nicholas, they believe, lives in Spain and comes to visit the children on a steamboat and rides a white horse with at least one attendant, if not two, by the name of Black Pieta. And Black Pieta is a different kind of elf. He dresses like this, kind of Shakespearean.
Ooh, I like his cape.
You know? And he's a sooty kind of elf. He goes down the chimney and he takes a look at what's happening in the house. And Black Pieta is the one that tells Santa, or St. Nicholas, who goes on the nice list. So watch out if you see Black Pieta. He's the original elf on the shelf.
Yes.
And so we consider all shapes and depictions of Christmas holiday characters that we all know and love.
Do we have a gnome costume?
Well, our gnomes look like this.
Ooh.
The ones that we do are traditional in red and green.
Oh, I love it.
Very comfortable. This is where we think, what we know
As gnomes.
as gnomes.
Wonderful.
And we also have this style.
And it's funny, because
That's
I think the
Christmas gnome.
gnomes and the elves could probably dress almost the same.
Yes, they do. And in the Nordic countries, there are the 12 elf men that visit the house beginning December 25th, which is traditionally the first day of Christmas.
Oh.
And so you have to watch for them to come in and out of your house. Some steal your pots and pans.
Oh no!
Yes.
Not our pots and pans. We need those.
Some take firewood, and they create all other kinds of things. And this would be considered one of the Nordic elfmen.
Oh, he's cute. Now, one of the Nordic tales that I remembered hearing is about a giant cat.
Oh, yes. And if you're not wearing the Christmas sweater that you were given that year, the Christmas cat comes to you and
Eats you
takes
up.
you away. Eats you up.
What a silly story.
I know, and it's very festive. And people come in, not only for the gnome elf, and this is a different kind.
Oh, it's a girl elf.
Yes.
How cute is that?
And she has a pointed hat.
Of course.
That goes with that.
Very cute.
Yes.
And who's this guy behind bars?
That is
he wild and
Rudolph.
crazy? Hi, Rudolph. He's adorable.
And that's another thing. Traditionally, the reindeer are, they lose their horns. However, at this time of year, it is only the females that have had keep their horns at Christmas time during the winter.
I did not know that.
So, who's making the big night ride happen?
All the girls.
Female reindeer. It is the girls.
It's the girls.
Yes.
We make it happen. I love it.
Yes, but let me go around the corner here.
Okay, I'm following you. Ooh. Look at all the costumes, you
Where
guys.
did I see it?
She's such a busy gnome.
Let me see. And this is another version
Ooh.
of a gnome.
Oh. Huh. Yeah.
With
Earthy
the belt,
colors.
And then you wear the pointed hat.
Of course.
Yeah, kind of
Very
simple.
earthy colors.
Very simple.
Very nice.
Very nice.
So many fun costumes.
We do. We do.
Uh-oh, you're about to lose some green wings there.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That's what happened.
Sugarplum fairy wings
Yeah,
on the ground.
That's what happened. But I just thought I saw. Well, darn it. It's hiding.
It happens.
And other helpers, what we absolutely cannot forget is
Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus is definitely
She
a
has
helper.
many looks, and she helps quite a bit. She is just as important as Yolofuki. And so don't forget her.
Yes.
Anytime there's cooking involved and women with children, call on her if Santa's not available. She's just as accessible.
Yes, and important.
And she is a very good go-between because, sometimes Santa is a very large guy. And there are children who get scared, And she is a nice person to talk to. If you don't want to go visit Santa and tell him what you'd like for Christmas, by all means, you tell Mrs. Claus and she will do the best that she can to make your Christmas wish come true.
I love that.
Yes.
You're
so
right.
call on her. She's magical too, and she drives a sleigh. And do you realize the people of the north also have sled dogs? So Santa and Mrs. not only work with reindeer, they work with sled dogs.
How fun.
Yes, and if you look up Santa Park, you can see it all.
Santa Park?
Santa Park in Rovaniemi, Finland.
Okay.
And they have a television channel there too. You can see the mailroom. You can see the bakery.
How
and
fun.
each year they have a theme. So all of the helpers get together and they put on a show on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
Where you can see Santa Yolopuki start with the children of Finland driving off in his sleigh.
How fun.
And speaking of which,
Ooh.
I hear a call coming through, Tanya.
Uh-oh.
Let's switch the camera around.
Okay.
We are going to call, because I can hear something coming through. We are going to get the right channel.
It's starting to look so festive. I'm thinking we need just a bit more garland over there.
Who could it be?
Perfect. Let's see who's on the other end of the communicator.
That's us.
Press and release the button. Say
Okay.
your name, then press the button again.
Yeah, Tanya, go ahead. This button. Oops.
Tea
Fairy.
Well, joyeux Noël, Feliz Navidad, and Fröhliche Weihnachten to you. This is Mrs. Claus.
Oh,
This is Christmas, so little time. Santa's been so busy, I feel like he deserves a little break today. I'd like to plan something fun for us to do when he gets home. What's something fun that you like to do?
I like to blow bubbles and make balloons.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. This gives me some good ideas for my night out with Santa. He will be so surprised. I'll be sure to tell him you helped me think it up. Goodbye, and good Christmas.
Oh, have fun!
Bonjour, Mrs. Claus. We actually got Mrs. Claus on the phone. Great. I can't believe we got her on the phone.
So exciting! Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I had so much fun spending time with you.
And
You
me
moved
too.
your hat.
Oh my hat.
It
Okay,
happens.
to everybody on the North Coast, Huva Yolua means Merry Christmas in Finnish.
And out in Greenbelt too.
The whatnot? Say hello to the what gnomes.
I Am The Tomten by Tanya TeaFairy Nordberg. In the deep part of winter, when the air is biting cold and the starry night skies light up and shimmer with silver and gold, snow falls down and covers the land, the trees, and the buildings too. Every creature is asleep, no meow, no oink, no moo. This is my time to wake up, and it's my pleasure to see the grace of winter's eve sparkling all around me. For it is I, the Tomten, who keeps all safe at night. And checks each and every windowsill and door to make sure they are locked up nice and tight. It's my job to care for every creature, the cow, the chickens, and the sheep. It's my calling and my honor to guard you while you sleep. I am a magical friend that only children and animals can hear. I make sure they're safe and sound in their beds, pens, barns, and yards. But my favorite is my friend the hound. She is my friend, and with me she walks as I make my nightly rounds on the farm. She talks with me of daytime things and helps me keep all safe from harm. We part ways before the sun rises, she to her doghouse and I to the loft, where I sleep in the hay and dream through the day of this sweet life and all things that are soft. I am the Tomten, this is my duty. I am the Tomten, I love what I do. I watch through the night and to bed before day. I love taking good care of you. The end.
Where's that Tomten?
Walter, let's find him. Listen, under here.
No? Listen now, maybe listen. I don't know. He's a tough one. Maybe he's above. No. Under the leaves. No. This way. Come on, Walter. Is he in here? I don't know. This way. I think he's this way. Oh, yeah, over here. Get you! Come on. This way. Yeah? Okay. All right. No. Let's play. Under here. It's under here. I know it's under here. Come on. Ah, gotcha!
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Over the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ho, 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 bells and bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ho, 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 bells and bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Yay!